Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV, a podcast where we discuss some of the latest streaming shows and among other things that we find we want to talk about. Today we're going to discuss the final season and overall of The Boys. And but before that, we will do some other what we've been watching. And before that, do we have any feedback? Okay, so no feedback this week. You guys need to send us your thoughts and feelings. Your feeling. Let's get into your feelings. Let's really talk about feelings.
Whatever you want to send, yeah.
Yeah, but you do that by commenting or DMing us, or also sending an email to feedback@screentimepod.com. But before that, Jared.
Yep.
Every hero becomes a villain to somebody. So my name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
If you can't beat them, join them, and then beat them.
Yes, nice classic twist on the classic saying. All right. So let's get into what we've been watching. I've got 3 things.
I have 2 things.
All right, then I'll start us off.
Okay.
Of course, one of them might be the same. I think, one of them definitely is probably the same thing. But anyway.
Yeah.
Before I actually even get into it, I want to just a note about Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu movie that we discussed last week. Thing that I saw someone else comment on that did not pick up on when I was watching this film. It was actually on a VFX podcast I was listening to about this film.
Okay.
So in the arena, when they're fighting, when all the things come out to fight them,
yes,
those are all the same pieces on the chessboard that Chewie is playing.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, which then also jumps to follow along that logic, then it's like actually that chessboard is just a board game representation of this fight. That's like, right? Like it's like actually the fight probably came first, and that's even though in our worldview we saw the board game, the chess type of game, long before this, but this is actually
that arena's probably been going forever.
That existed first, and they made a board game of.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not something I picked up on, and they were talking about it. I was like, how did I miss that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, so so that was, we watched last week, but that was an interesting note. All right. So first thing I watched was season 1 of It's Not Like That on Amazon.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Yeah, this is so the premise is freshly divorced Lori and recently widowed minister Malcolm, who are friends, and then they have teenagers who also are friends, navigate singlehood while questioning if their long-standing bond hints at romantic future.
Yeah, I know. I heard about this because mom and dad watched this.
Yes, I know.
Or at least I don't think they finished it. But
oh no, they finished it.
Did they?
Because I actually finished it too. But
okay.
I started watching it, and then I texted them to be like, "Hey, this is something you might like." To mom, she was like, "Oh yeah, we already watched it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
it's good. It's about a pastor."
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty PG. Like it's pretty.
I figured mom could watch it. Yeah.
So it's but the main lead guy, Malcolm, who's the pastor, is played by Scott Foley, who was kind of like a big deal back in the day.
All right.
He was in Felicity for that show, and
nice.
One of the like constant in the love triangle with Felicity back then. So back in the 90s, he was kind of, I guess, one of the, the word heartthrobs or whatever is that the word they use? Is that even a thing people say anymore?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know what the term is.
Probably use a different word.
Yeah. But he was, popular then. So for that reason.
Okay.
Of course, I haven't seen him in anything since then, to be honest, I don't think.
Yeah.
But this is pretty good. I mean, again, for what you're wanting, I think it does a good job of dealing with the grief, because he lost his wife a year prior to cancer, and so dealing with that and how he deals with it and his kids dealing with it, and just that, and I think it handles that well, especially from, and then even the church stuff, it kind of, does well. It's not, I feel like the church stuff is kind of is more secondary. It's not the primary. The primary is these family dynamics and the people, their next door, no, across the street neighbors, was basically their best friend, whatever. Like, they were across the street, but then just as it's been about a year for him, then they got divorced, and so he's living in the house with his 3 kids, and then across the street is what was their best friends, but his wife's best friend, who is there with her 2 kids.
Right.
And the guy moved out. And so then, of course, because they have a long-standing relationship, that things kind of balance in the, they kind of flirt. There's, those kind of things, and it's but then they both try dating other people too throughout the season. So
I was wondering how much the church aspect was even a part of it.
There's, I believe, something. And I mean, they do a good job, because there's one of the episodes, there's, kind of like a giant yard sale the church does. They call it a rummage sale, but for raising, donations for money for the church. There's a different episode where they do an overnight lock-in with the youth group.
Nice.
So they definitely, and then early on, because at the year mark is when he's coming back to actually kind of working. Like, he had been, they still were attending, but he had taken a year sabbatical because of his wife passing. So they deal with that in the first couple episodes of him, kind of the first time he tries to preach, it's hard for him. And then because he's dealing with the grief and just hasn't done it in a year. And so that's kind of early on. And then they kind of play with some of these other things. And and just there's the older lady that's, I guess, the church secretary. I don't necessarily give her a title, but you kind of assume she is. And, and then of course her giving him a hard time about different things. And so it's there. It's there. And it's and the stuff that's done when it is there is done well. So
all right. I'm sure there's drama with the kids too and all that.
Oh yeah. All the kids, especially the teenagers. I mean, he's got 3 kids and 2 girls and a boy. The boy's the youngest. He's still elementary school age. And so his is a little different, but the other 2 are dating and backstabbing with friends and things like that. Yep. But yeah, so pretty good. That's on Amazon. It's Not Like That.
Okay.
All the episodes are out. All right, so what do you got?
My first one is, I guess, did you watch Cape Fear?
I did.
Okay.
All right. Unless you have it, I can read the...
No, go ahead. This is on Apple.
Yeah, this is Apple TV. It's the premises, or the synopsis is: a happily married couple faces a growing threat when a notorious killer from their past, Max Cady, is released from prison and seeks revenge.
So I wanted to ask,
and this this has Amy Adams, Javier Bardem, and Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, great cast
as the leads. And the cast.
I wanted to ask if you've seen either one of the films.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to begin with this, comparing it to Presumed Innocent, because it's very similar. Because it's originally was a book, and then was a film. Okay. This was 2 films actually, one in the 50s and then one in the 90s. I never watched the one from the 50s, but I love the 90s film, the Scorsese film.
Well, I was gonna say, and then Spielberg and Scorsese are producers on this film, or this show.
Yeah, I saw that. That was interesting. Yeah. I don't know how involved they were with it, but that is
some level.
Cool. Yeah. So book, film, and then now a television series for both of these. And so it's interesting, how you expand on this from a film, even the book, which this show to me seems to be inspired by all the source material. Like the film, for sure.
Well, I assume you would have to go back to the book to expand, because really the book probably had more than the film did anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never read it, but
Typically that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
a
you have
novel
to-
has way more in it than a 2-hour film. And
Yeah.
so they normally, to adapt something to a movie, you're figuring out what you can take out and for the story to fit in 2 hours.
yeah,
So
yeah. I will say, I mean, the cast is really great, and obviously Javier Bardem especially. It's a great cast for this character, and Robert De Niro played him in the film, and he was amazing in that. But Javier Bardem is great in this. I would say this is the closest we're going to get to Anton Chigurh in No Country.
in a long time, yes.
Not quite that level, but yeah, it is.
Well, we
it's
just
an
got
awesome,
started though.
Yeah, but I know how it goes. But unless they change it at all, but it is yeah, it's cool to see him do this kind of role, and he's such a great actor anyway. But Amy Adams is great in this too. Patrick Wilson's not really doing much so far, but yeah, how'd you feel about it? I'm curious, because you hadn't seen anything.
Yeah, I don't know the story
Yeah,
ahead of time. I mean, so far it's a good setup, and like you said, the performances, especially the Amy Adams and Javier Bardem are really good, and just, I mean, he's just one of those people, like, it's so intriguing to watch anyway, whatever he's doing. And in this especially, like he's just so creepy, but at the same time charismatic and and like alluring and enticing. Like you almost like, it's like you can tell and feel like she wants to be around him because he's just a fascinating person. But then at the same time, he's dangerous. You can feel the danger and like you're like, I shouldn't be talking to this person.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to this person. Kind of feel, and he does that so well in this. And one of the things I wanted to call is like the cinematography in this, like, is also just, it looks so good, even though it's not
it does.
like the lighting, I guess, is probably the better thing, because there's nothing like grand spectacle shots of things when you think of cinematography, but just the lighting and all these like more interesting settings, right? Like, and especially their house, like there's so much that's like at night, and the lights are coming on and off and things. And
well, with him, I mean, him like being in the shadows and then stepping in the light. Yeah, it's so cool how they do that with Max Cady. Yeah,
really good. And it reminds me of, you know, the other, like Sicario or something else.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so far I'm really digging it.
Yeah, me too. I mainly, because I looked and it's actually 10 episodes, and I'm like, man, that's a lot.
Longer than I thought.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what are they going to do with this. Now there is a lot of extra characters, so I imagine we're going to get into that, which I don't know to how much degree, because I feel like all those extra characters aren't as interesting as the main thing, but that might be how they expand on it some. But I'm just wondering, like, the core of the story, it's like doing it for 10, I'm going to say not quite 10 hours, but, you know, essentially that, or however long each episode's going to be, is I'm just interested in how they're going to do it, as opposed to a 2-hour film that like was really tight and like, yeah. But I mean, yeah, they might be more in the book, like you said, that they can add in here. But yeah, I really like the tone especially, and talking about the visuals, it also, I don't know if it's the color grading or what else, but it has a really cool look to it. Not just the lighting, like you mentioned, but
yeah, there's like
something about it, the way it looks.
Definitely has a more saturated.
Okay, is that what it is?
I would say than like yeah, there's just like a little bit of a more dense color in the stuff that is seen versus like the shadows, but then the shadows are pretty dark too.
Yeah, which I like, because that's not always the case in some shows.
Yeah, well, I feel like they do it more in shows than they do. I think,
or sometimes it's too dark everywhere, like in some films, modern films too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, stuff's like all. I mean, it's just there's so much latitude in what you can play with in post nowadays that like,
yeah,
it's way easier to play with it and make interesting decisions. Whether they're right decisions or not is different, but there's a lot more. I mean, just digital cameras have so much information now when they capture it that you can push stuff all over the place, color wise and exposure and dynamic or contrast, and so like those choices, whether right or wrong, but then we you run into the issue then, like, hey, HDR versus not, and like I know when I watched this, I saw it in HDR.
I did not watch an HDR.
Yeah. So like I don't know if that's why some of the colors looked a little bit more vibrant to me, but yeah. So like there's again, watching it on a HD, non-HDR, older TV versus your phone versus a full 4K HDR TV, like all those variables also play into how something's going to look. So
yeah,
which is why, like, was it that last season of Game of Thrones, and there was like everyone complained about, and I was like, I remember that happening, and I had watched it like practically, I don't know if I watched it live, but I watched it like, and I didn't have any issue, but I have a really nice OLED 4K HDR TV that I was watching it on, and so like everything looked fine to me, and then like other people were like, I couldn't see anything, it was way too dark.
A lot of other people
like,
don't.
People buy the cheap $300, hey, I want the 60-inch TV that's $300 on Black Friday, and it's like, well, okay, yes, but it's not going to really reproduce an image that's anything close to what it should be, just because it's big and cheap. But
yep. Yeah. I also just want to mention the flashback at the beginning of episode 2 is really cool too, in black and white.
Yes.
With Max Cady still in jail.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
He fights all those guys.
Yeah,
that
was sick.
Yeah, which is like, and of course
also filmed in an interesting way too, actually.
Yeah, and very like higher contrast, black and white.
Yeah, that's true.
And then of course, him talking about like, I wasn't a murderer until I was in there. Is what he claims, but.
Yeah, it's I was looking forward to this anyways, and it's off to a good start. I'm looking forward to it every week. See how it goes. Hopefully it stays, like I said, 10 episodes. Hopefully it's good all the way through. But you should watch the movie. The movie's awesome. The Scorsese film.
Well, when we cover Scorsese, I'll watch it.
Who knows when that will be? He has so many movies too, but it's like saying cover Spielberg.
Yeah. Well, I say Spielberg, I think, has more than he does, probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So I feel like he's taking breaks at times, and Spielberg doesn't.
Yep.
Or hasn't. Cool. Well, my final thing is so this is on the Apple Vision Pro.
Okay.
It's one of the Apple immersive experiences. This is a 20-minute documentary called Real Madrid, The Weight of Greatness. And this goes into the inner sanctum of the world's most decorated soccer club through the 180-degree immersive video experience. It blends match day intensity with raw behind-the-scenes access, giving fans the closest experience yet to stepping into the pitch wearing the crest. So I know I say this every time I mention one of these things, but it just still sometimes surprises me, / blows me away, like how you just feel like you're there with these players. And this was cool because it also was done well as a documentary. So there's older footage that they've just almost like you can with your phone, like kind of just turn a flat image into a spatial photo. Yeah. Like they did that. And so that like when you're seeing 2D images or, like a flat image that is not, they still have a way to display it interesting and, kind of use that as like a way, because it's a documentary, not trying to just be just a spectacle for the Vision Pro. But there's also like, you're in the stadium, you're in the middle of the stadium, and it's cool. It was good and fun to watch.
Nice.
So those of you that
are privileged enough to have a Vision Pro,
or if you're a huge Real Madrid fan,
Yep.
go down to your local Apple store and do a demo of and watch this.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, what was your other thing you had?
My last thing, it came out in 2020. It's a film called Dinner in America. Did you watch this?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this director's other films because I looked him up because I really love this movie. He hasn't done that many things. The director's name is Adam Raymier. So he has a movie that's about to come out or just came out called Carolina Caroline, but he did Snack Shack, which I think that's the one you saw.
I don't think I've seen Snack Shack.
Snack Shack? I thought you talked about it, that movie.
I don't think so.
It's about these kids that take over a snack shack in like the early 90s. Really cool. Also, I started watching it after watching this, but I haven't finished it yet. I don't know. I thought you watched that, but
Doesn't sound familiar.
okay. That came out like 2024, I want to say. But I want to see this new movie too. Looks interesting. But this is an on-the-lam punk rocker and a young woman obsessed with his band unexpectedly fall in love and go on an epic journey together through America's decaying Midwestern suburbs. So this story is just awesome. And I wanted to mention, well, the main girl I didn't recognize. She was really great too. But the actor is Kyle Gallner, which I have seen in something. He is in the Smile films and Strange Darling. He's been in other things too. But this guy is just like, he's kind of bigger now. It seems like he's a younger actor, but is getting way more well known now. But he's just like, I was just like blown away by him, how good he was in this. And then also like, I was trying to think about like his performance and is very intense and kind of reminded me of like young Sean Penn mixed with, I don't know, but like very serious, intense performance. And his character's just like crazy in this, but it's just awesome. Really, really awesome film. Like way better than I thought it would be. And a really unique breakbeat type score in this too. So the score was awesome too. Anyway, so like everything about this was just awesome.
Cool.
Music as well, obviously could center on that, but you should check it out. This is on Amazon, but it is great. Well, you should watch Snack Shack too. I thought you saw that one too, but I started that and that's already really cool as well. And then obviously the new one. So I don't know. I like this director a lot. He hasn't done that much yet, but yeah. So
Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll have to check it out.
yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, let's get into The Boys season 5. So that's the ending of the series. So I just pulled the general overview of what this show is about. Which a group of vigilantes set out to take down corrupt superheroes who abuse their superpowers. Which is
That's how it's been the whole show. Yeah.
the premise of the show. So kind of broke this down into more story arcs for some of the characters versus like, because we're talking about the season as a whole. So spoilers for season 5 and probably all seasons, because we'll probably discuss some things from the previous season.
Yes. It's been going now.
Yeah. Probably almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, yeah. Which is crazy to think about.
Right. So Homelander, who's kind of, one of the, I guess he's considered the main protagonist. And the show, all seasons, he's kind of consistent that's there.
One of the best performances too.
Yeah, this guy, like, I feel like he's on the level where Joffrey, that actor, like where it's like, it's hard to see him as anything else because he's so good at this and being such an arrogant. Yeah.
If this is anything you've seen him in, then I could see that. Like I've seen this actor in things before this. So I was like,
yeah, there's something sometime in, I don't know. I remember watching something sometime in the last couple of years and he was in.
Yeah. He's been in other things since then. Yeah. It was a show he was on before this that I remember watching that he was also really good in. But yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah. It's also he played this character so long.
Yeah. 5 seasons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, some of the Gen V, he was in the.
Yeah, he did show up. That's right.
Show up in both.
Yeah.
At least for season 1 of that. I don't know if it was.
Season 1 he did. Yeah, I don't know about season 2. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But overall, this season, he basically ascends to. He just kind of like decides, I'm just gonna bully everyone. He's kind of been that way all along, but like he kind of went along with things and had some people that were kind of dictating things for him.
Yeah,
and
he still stayed in line some earlier in the seasons.
And then like last season, he had was the lady that's like the smart one, and she kind of was
Sister Sage.
Yeah, Sister Sage giving him like, because she was kind of master planning things, and he was kind of going along with what she could kind of control him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now, because they knew it was the end and final, they just like let him be unleashed.
Yes.
And he just is like, yep, I'm going to kill anybody that stands in my way and I'm going to do whatever I want. And
literally wants to be God.
And then, then he gets a vision that he's God.
Yep. From, I forget. I mean, it's Elizabeth Shue, the actor, and she's great, but
she was in
she was pretty high up in the company.
Yeah, when she was there.
Yeah.
Season 1 and 2, maybe?
Yep.
Season 2 where she gets killed. But yeah, so then we get his arc of becoming quote unquote God.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I wanted to ask you this season as a whole and how you felt about it, because I thought this season was still good, but the first 2 seasons, I think the third season too, but definitely first 2 seasons were the show at its best still.
Yeah.
Like this is, and last season too. I know last season was not as good. I remember season 3. I'm trying to remember.
I feel like even season 3 had some stuff. Well,
I mean, yeah, it's hard to do this much of a show like this.
The problem is like where we're at with the concepts of it's like at some point, why is Homelander letting these people live that are constantly bugging him, right? Like he could just kill them easily.
Yep.
It's like, so it's kind of, and then last season where they give, Butcher ends up with powers.
Yes.
People, it's kind of like, okay. But like, I think, because I feel like again, I think if you consolidate it, and maybe only did like 3 seasons, then it could have been amazing. Because I think you could take season 3, 4, and 5 and take stuff from them and consolidate down into one season, and it would be a really good season. But because I
agree,
are good, and then it would be because the concept, letting it drag on that long, it's like you had to invent ways to kind of keep them having to constantly fight Homelander, but then not die. Fight Homelander, but not die, right? And especially for like people like Huey, who has no superpowers other than he had it for a brief moment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like why is he still alive?
Yeah, and this season still had good moments, but yeah, it's just I think it was like really strong in the first 2 seasons at least. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to do a show this long. Well, with this specific concept, and like you said, with Homelander especially, and yeah, and there's some moments like later on at the end too that were like unexpected too. That some were good, some were bad, but yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't always exactly where I thought it was going to go, which I guess is a good thing. So, but yeah, I was just curious how you felt about it compared to the other seasons. But
yeah, that's kind of where I think. I mean, I think it was about time that they let him just be the menace that he can be. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think they were kind of, that's another thing that was held back way too long.
Yeah.
So I think that was good. But then even in this season, like you kind of see it in the middle where it kind of drags, and then they're just like kind of having a whole side plot thing to kind of.
Yeah, that was weird where it seemed like it was like holding back for a while in the middle. And then like everything just happening at once where it's like, then the ending felt like too quick, which is weird. So it's like, yeah, you could have everything with the ending, you could have like let it be longer than, and not stall as much in the middle. Yeah, that was kind of a weird pacing part of this whole season, and I'm not sure why they did it that way, but
well, I mean, I guess, we don't jump around, but like,
yeah,
I guess the alternative would be to kill Homelander mid-season. And I think because he has become such the key protagonist, like they didn't want to kill him off too early.
No, I knew that would be part of the finale. Like, yeah.
Then it's like, but then, like you said, everything after that feels a little rushed. Like post him dying and the other things that kind of happen after.
Well, even leading up to him, like the final battle, like, all that seemed a little too rushed to me.
But then, I don't know. And then like the side plot of like bringing in Soldier Boy.
Yes.
But then like putting him on ice. So then they can have Kumiko like get his power of like taking someone's power away. It's like, why add that extra plot device when you already had a character there that could do it? And I think the part where he hands him the V1 makes no sense character wise. Soldier Boy, like all of a sudden he's just like, oh, it's because, we both cared about the same woman. Yeah,
so I do want to mention that because that actually is clearly, there's different parts in this season that has to do with Soldier Boy that clearly is setting up another spinoff that I'm actually very excited for. That is Vault Rising. This is coming out next year, but it's set in the 1950s and is the early days of Vault. And the two main characters is Soldier Boy and Stormfront, which are like my two favorite characters, some of my favorite characters. So I'm glad. So it's great that they'll bring back Stormfront because she was one of the best in the show.
Yeah. She was season 2 or season 3?
2.
2, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the best seasons. Yeah. And then I always love Soldier Boy too because
what's the actress that plays Stormfront?
Aya Cash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just watched her in Year the Worst, which is like the first big thing she was in. But then she's been in a lot of stuff since then. But it's cool that she's coming back. And then, I love Soldier Boy just because like just the stuff he says is just like it's so unhinged. It's great. So I was still happy that he came back in this season just to see him some more.
No, I think it was good that he's there.
Yeah.
I just think they didn't use him the way they should have.
Yeah.
I think the stuff with him with the daddy issues stuff, that's good. Like, and that, but then again, allowing Homelander to basically one up him and then throw him in the cryo chamber or whatever, put him to sleep instead of having him be the one that helps take Homelander down. Like, I think that would make way more sense.
I don't know why he put him back.
And then why he gave him the V1, like, let him find the V1 some other way and then have Soldier Boy help take him down. I mean, like, because then I think that would have been more poetic, having grandfather and grandson take him down. Like, because then his son shows up at the end. So that was just a real weird choice of.
But I mean, part of the point is that Butcher is kind of like the actual dad, though. To
well, I mean, you still have Butcher do his part too.
His
to the
Homelander's son, because it's also I mean, they love the same woman. Well, no, Homelander didn't love. I should say Homelander didn't love her. He just took advantage of her, and like that was the very start of the show. But Butcher.
Yeah, truly. No, I'm not saying take Butcher out of it. Like what he did, his part of it. I think he's the one that ultimately needed to kill him once he lost his power, which is what happened. So I think that was right. I think Soldier Boy should have been the person there instead of Kuyako or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, that I agree, but we have to have more of the boys team, involved in the fight. Because, like, who else could really match with him, really? It's like...
Yeah.
Power level-wise, I guess I should say. Like, it's just...
Yeah. Well, and then they kill Frenchie before the end.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, all that didn't really hit for me. killing Frenchie and all that is just. I mean, I like him as a character, but it's just like the way it was done was just like,
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it was interesting the process of what they were doing to Kimiko to get her to have those powers. Like, that's brutal. But she wanted to do it. But I thought that was interesting because obviously that's how Soldier Boy got it. And it's cool that it actually did end up working. But I know what you mean. Soldier Boy should have been there. But
yeah, and then I mean, I think again, the plot device to extend it was like because like the virus thing, right? That was at the end of last season where they found out that there was going to be a way to kill him, and because that came from the Gen V season 2.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, like it was like a crossover from that. So then they, and then this season and then finding out that V1 protects you and is immune to the virus. Like, okay, so that was a way to stall it throughout the season so that he doesn't use it till the end. But I think, Butcher killing him and then, because like I think the whole point of always is like Butcher, though, I think his motivations are better. He's still bad. Like he still just has no problem with killing people and things.
Well, that's why
I think it's the whole point of the show, right? Like he always was kind of like, hey, there's not really a good guy here.
Yep.
Just one's worse than the other.
Yep.
And I think that's why it was important that he be the one that kill him like at the end, like do the final blow. But
that scene, like, him finally killing him, like, I figured that'd be the end of this show, but then what happens afterwards is what I was talking about. That it was unexpected, but then like made a lot of sense, and I actually thought was really good. Was Huey and Butcher's final confrontation, because then to your point, like that's what was great about the scene. I thought was because like even what Butcher says to Huey, he's like like he doesn't say this, he doesn't say like I'm a bad guy, but basically like. Huey finally does kill him, and then he's like, I'm sorry, but then Butcher's like, I would have kept, he says something like, I would have kept doing this, because he did want to release the virus, obviously, but yeah, so like all of that I thought was really great, but unexpected. I didn't know they would actually end it that way. But then after that, like you were talking about, was like very rushed and very like, just like
even that scene, I feel like it was rushed.
Yeah,
like it's like you could have done a whole episode on that.
Oh yeah,
and that was I felt like that was kind of rushed.
Yeah, but like after that too, and like what everyone does, it's like a lot of them you don't really know. Like they just kind of leave. Like they're all at the grave, and then they're just like, all right, see ya, And then it's like the only thing we really get, obviously, is Huey and Starlight. But even that was like real quick, kind of post thing too.
Well, you had what's the other guy? Because he's renewing his vows to his wife.
Mother's Milk.
And then he took the boy. Like he's there.
Yeah, that was interesting. But it makes sense because he's not. I mean, Butcher's not around anymore. But
correct.
But like they kind of just like peace out. Kimiko is just like see ya. It's like we don't really know.
Yeah.
Where she goes either.
I think
anyway, just in general, it felt rushed though.
Yeah, I agree. And then we get the Huey and Starlight, and like he's got his little shop, and
the shop was cool though to see, just because like that's
the front for her like undercover.
But it's also something that he wanted to do, and I think I'm trying to remember, it's been so long now, but something either his father did or wanted to do, or maybe Huey wanted to do. I don't know. It's been so long because that was the first season, which was also cool. Simon Pegg being his dad, but then like he was barely around. But yeah, I don't know. So that was cool. But then being a front for so they could keep.
She could still fighting crime. I'd like the arc for the Deep in this.
Yes,
this was
the Deep has always been funny.
He's been funny, but then like they really let him be a little bit more front and center.
Yeah,
this season.
Yeah.
Mainly because like a lot the rest of the seven slowly have been dying off, right?
Yes.
So he's like really the only other original this from the seven than
Yeah, he's an
Homelander.
original, yeah.
Because even what's the guy that's like quiet, like he died a couple
Black Noir, yeah.
yeah, and it's like a fake
Now it's Black
impartial.
Noir 2 or whatever they call him.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because he actually does talk now.
Yeah, because he can talk. And then, you know, of course, he dies here, and then, but then the like the plot line where he finally gets the fish and sea, like all them are mad at him because he's taken advantage of them one too many times, and so there's a fitting ending that he
yeah, it is for sure.
eaten by the sharks or whatever, and the octopus.
Yes.
And then was it implied that was like the octopus that he kind of had
That's what I was wondering.
had a fling with or whatever you want to call
I was curious if that was
like definitely grew bigger, but like,
yes.
yeah,
I don't know. But that's what I thought too. It was probably
I was like, yeah,
yeah. It's like I know they kind of ended because we were talking about the original seven. They kind of ended her a while back, but like I always really liked Queen Maeve, but then like she kind of left last season or the season 4. Like she hadn't been in the show in a while. I don't remember what they did with her, but like yeah, a lot of the original 7 were good characters. Oh well, then what's his name? The fast guy. Like he's just very beginning, and that's it. Like he's barely in the season. What's his name?
A-Train.
A-Train. There you go.
He gets he's dead.
Yeah, yeah. Very like first
Homelander
or
chases him
second.
down.
Yeah. So
because
like
he finally helps the good guys, quote unquote. And yeah.
Now the theme, which I thought was good this season, that a lot of the characters kind of made a point to tell Homelander, and A-Train does specifically right before he dies. Like he's basically telling Homelander like, "Hey, dude, you're really like nothing," and like actually is brave enough to say that to his face, and then like that's enforced throughout the whole season with other characters too. And like I thought that whole theme with that, like basically Homelander saying how big and powerful he is, but really he's not. It's just that was a good theme of this final season. I mainly have like there's like a couple just random things that I just thought were funny. I do want to mention, although it's like it was cool to see some of the Gen V characters, but then there was like barely in it, which I thought they'd be in it more, which was was a weird part.
It was kind of that's what I want. Like, why bother?
Right?
Like,
because they like didn't do. Yeah.
Like if they didn't do anything with their powers.
I know.
They didn't do it, like. Yeah,
because even like
seemed wasted.
Yeah, it did. Because even if she was around, like the main girl, she could have saved Frenchie. It's like, and they were around, but like she wasn't there actually when he died. But then like, I don't know what the point was bringing them in, or just so you could just be like, hey, these are cameos. But like, they should have been part of the ending more.
A couple of things in the I know we kind of talked about, but the final showdown. It felt like they made Butcher more powerful all of a sudden, where he was withstanding, like Homelander was giving him the beatdown, he was shooting him even with his eye beams, and it was like,
I think it's since he had like those powers whenever he got those last season, I guess, or sometime, with the whatever they are, the tentacles or whatever. It's always a weird effect when he used it, but I mean, he just got a lot more powerful whenever that happened. Yeah. So but it's like, I didn't really see him as any more powerful than that fighting Homelander.
Okay. I don't know. Just I was like, really? He can withstand just like the laser? Because I don't know. Just felt like he was. I was like, oh, okay. Just didn't realize he was.
All that you kind of have to. Yeah, it is because it's like, who's. That's why it's like certain characters we were talking about, like who's more powerful. It's like all that you don't really.
Was it Firecracker? Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, where she
love Firecracker.
Yeah, but then he just like shoves her head into like, and you're like, okay, that's over.
Yep.
This is random and.
Yeah, she was a great character though.
Yeah,
she was a highlight from last season and this season. There weren't. Because when they introduce new characters, like they do a good job because obviously like Stormfront was one of the best, but that had ties to like the origins, which is why it's so great. I'm glad they're doing this new show that's like takes place back then.
Yep.
But Firecracker was like a great newer character. Sister Sage,
Yeah.
she's all right.
Yeah.
She wasn't my favorite. But yeah, normally introducing new characters is like they do a good job of, but the original 7 were like so good. I think that's another reason why the earlier seasons were so good. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Firecracker, I would say, of the newer ones, I think. She was great.
I feel like also this season that they just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering, but it feels like it was just they upped the knob on the gore level at all, like a different like.
Yeah, I feel like that's every season.
I feel like, well, I remember like it always being gory, but like this one was like, I don't know, it just seemed like every time you turn around, there was just like guts and blood exploding everywhere.
I honestly, I don't feel like it's any more than before, because it's like it's always been crazy, because that's how the comic is, like the source material. And I want to say, even as much as they could just do whatever, in this, because Amazon, I want to say the source material is even more like there were certain things they couldn't even do in this show, like that were just like. So that's apparently how intense and crazy it is, like the original comic. But yeah, they still got away with a lot in this, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, man, it's like every time I turn around, I was like, there's like stuff splattering in Huey's face.
Well, that's every season, because he finally makes a joke about it, because he's like, he doesn't say anything ever, and that happens to him. Like, he gets covered in blood so much, even from the very beginning of the show. And then he finally is just like, I need to get a different job or something. Like, he finally, which I appreciate, he finally commented on that. Let's see. I have a couple of the funniest things from this season, or highlights, is there's a moment where they're shooting a show for Vought Plus, and the actor is arguing with the director about how terrible the writing is. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And then the director says, the Taylor Sheridan AI wrote the thing and it does not take notes. That was such a great moment. I love that. Actually, I always love, which they didn't do too much in this, all the other seasons, like when you see them filming something for, like, it was so good.
Just all the
parody stuff is great.
The world building around Vought being like this large conglomerate corporate.
Some of the best parts,
that then, which is like the premise of which they kind of get away from in the last couple seasons maybe, but like was stronger there in the beginning. Was just like, which I remember watching season 1 and thinking, oh, this is brilliant. Like, yes, this, if there really were superpowers, like that, they would be commercialized. They would make money off of them. They would be a company that, and then they would be, contracted by the government to do things. They would, like they would make movies and shows around them because of the IP that, and just like everything that about it is they would have, a school.
All that's so interesting. And, I hope they get into that with the new show. I mean, obviously this is early days, but just seeing
like how they start building that. Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to think what else. Did you have any other
well, just like
moments?
The moments, just like overall from the season, like I think it was also interesting because they always kind of had some political satire in the show.
Oh yeah,
but I think it got harder and harder as seasons go on because the world we live in, the reality, has gotten more comical.
I know.
So it's like it's hard to do satire on something when like real life is already a satire.
I agree. But that's one thing I like about why I thought Firecracker was such a great character. Well, especially the actress that played her, but then like the show she's doing is just like just being like a YouTube grifter that's just like just trying to shape whatever narrative she wants to do. It's just like, man, there's so much of that now, which is also like just annoying, but they did it so well, you know? Like it's just yeah. I have 2 more moments. That's about it. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else in particular. Overall, though, yeah, it's just not as good as it
well, I feel
used to be. But there's still good moments, though.
Yeah, I feel like the things that they still, I think were lacking was like there was not really much change or growth on Huey or Starlight's characters. They're even
we got Mother's Milk. We got Frenchie.
Yeah, Mother's Milk. Yeah. I mean, I guess Frenchie a little because it's like Kimiko, she like starts talking, which is like
yeah, that was the last season, right?
Yeah, but like kind of not the beginning of last season. I feel like
no,
so then like they play with
it
more on this season. So I guess there was a little bit between them that was like some interesting growth, but like most of the characters.
You know what's funny though? I'm sure you've felt this too. It was like beginning of that episode. I want to say it was the penultimate episode. It's like Frenchie and Kimiko talking about their future, and I was like, oh, okay, one of them is dying. You know, it's like they like reinforce. They're like, oh, we're gonna have this, and this, and it's like, all right, that's the classic. You know,
classic tell,
one of them's gonna die.
Yep. So. But no, what's your last couple?
One quick one was another, because a lot of like we talk about like the satire stuff that Vought plays into is like some of the funniest stuff. In episode 6, they did a quick, I'm sure you would love this too. They do a quick commercial for the VMC theater. So the Vought theater, and then they're promoting the deep popcorn bucket. And it's just like, it's just this like, yes. I think what they're also parodying is like that bad like Nicole Kidman theater commercial. There was like one where she was,
I think it's for like AMC or something. I mean, it's like for one of the main.
Yeah. But then this is VMC. It's great. Yeah. But like that was great. That and then the other big one was just episode 5, all the one shots, but then like all the cameos we get, like that was a highlight.
Yeah.
Now the first one it was cool getting a quick one of Terror, Butcher's dog, from his perspective. That was cool. But then obviously the one with all the cameos, and what's great is they were just playing themselves. It was Seth Rogen, Kumail Nanjiani, Will Forte, and Craig Robinson for a second also, and then McLovin too, which is Christopher Mintz-Plasse. And I just like they were just playing themselves. It was funny, even though it was real quick, but that was a good moment.
Yeah, for sure. And it was. I was gonna say about Butcher's dog like dying at the end.
That was tough.
Yeah,
that
but it's like, but it also was like just kind of out of the blue. It felt like it didn't feel.
Well, I mean, they set up that he was already sick at the beginning of the season, but. Yeah, it was brutal to see him die in that moment, but also like they did just to make Butcher really feel like he has nothing now.
Yep, tragic. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard anytime like having to see a dog specifically die in something. I don't like it. And that was a good dog too. He was a good dog.
Yeah. Well, we think. What do you think the future? So, I mean, they're doing it. Do you think there's room for another type of spinoff or something besides the prequel?
I don't know. I mean, I was bummed. We talked about, Gen V, like not continuing with that because, I mean, that show was great. I mean, we talked about it, and the first season was great. The second season was still good also. We did talk about the second season also. That's right. But I was kind of bummed that to
Didn't get
cancel it.
renewed,
Yeah.
Mm.
But honestly, this one I'm more excited about. Obviously, the time period, but also just the two characters that's focused on,
Yep.
which is cool how they set it up in this season because he talks about Soldier Boy, like how much he loved her back in, but then also Homelander was like, "Oh, I did too," you know. But yeah, just those two characters, Soldier Boy and Stormfront, just be interesting to see that. And there was like a quick teaser I think they released for it. Not a full trailer, but some of the other characters looked interesting too. It's just getting like an all new kind of cast, and besides them, yeah, it all looked really cool to me. But besides that, I don't know. I haven't seen anything else. Them mentioning anything else. But
yeah, no, I'm just just more
Yeah.
speculation. Like
I am glad that they did end this and didn't
drag it
stretch this
more.
out too
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, already arguably you said it is a little.
yeah, but yeah, you're right. Like not
they
try to
could have
do,
kept
like,
it. Yeah.
7 or 8 seasons of it and
Yep.
be like, oh my gosh.
I know that would. Yeah.
Well, it probably would have stopped. I mean,
Yeah, they wouldn't
I
have.
feel like season 3. Like it was hard for me to get through season 3. I think even season 4 was better than season 3.
Yeah, there was one I couldn't. Maybe it was season 3. Either season 3 or 4. I feel like was like the worst point of the show.
It was
There was a
for me.
moment-
It was for season 3 because I don't think I even finished it.
Okay.
And then when Gen V came out,
Yeah.
and in between that and season 4, I watched that and liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And then season 4 came out, and I was like, well, I should get caught up. And I think I finished season 3
Okay.
so I could watch season 4 because I was back in like, oh, this world is cool. Even though I think I'd fallen off on season 3 because it just was not keeping my attention because it was just not. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then, 4 was better. Still probably, not as good as, 1 and 2 for sure.
1 and 2 were so strong
Yeah.
though.
And
Yeah.
then what, season 2 of Gen V, watching that and it being good as well. But then of course getting canceled. And then of course, then with season 5 and knowing it was the final, I was like, well, I should watch it because
Yeah.
at this point, why not? And I would say, I mean, probably still, I'd have to, probably because of it's the ending and all that stuff, it's probably would put it up as the 3rd best season. And then,
Yeah, in moments, but I don't know. Like after first and second season, I feel like either season 3 or 4. I'm blanking on what happened in 3 and 4. Which one? Like what all happened in those two? But I feel like there was parts of 3 or 4 that were still really good. But that was when it started to fall off. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully the new show's good. But yeah, I'm curious what else they'll do because I imagine they're still going to do something else besides that.
well, I think, the question is what they tried to do with Gen V, right? Like, so they could have something every year in this world.
Yeah, that
Because
would
it
make
takes them
sense.
2 years to make it. So
That's what they're trying to do with Game of Thrones.
then like having, if we know if Vault Rising is 2027, so then what's in 2028? Will they
Right.
make an announcement that, at some point that they're working on something else to also, I don't know. I mean, is it, the next generation? Obviously they tease that Starlight's pregnant. So then like,
Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know if like. I guess that depends on if the actors like Starlight and Huey
we want to keep doing
want to keep going because I don't think I've really seen Starlight anything else. But obviously Jack Quaid is. He's in a lot of stuff now, so
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to.
Well,
keep going.
they
with
wouldn't
this.
necessarily have to be, and if you kind of just jumped ahead and
Yeah, that's true.
timeline and just was like, I don't know, when that have that be that their kid be a teenager, and then you have Homelander's son who maybe he's just a little older, but because he's a teenager now, so he's like in his 20s, and then
Yeah,
you could, and then you pull a few other new characters that are just younger soups.
if they're good characters, then I'd be for it. But like Homelander's son is kind of lame. I never really.
No, you're right. They've never really
So-
fleshed that character out.
Yeah, like I really wouldn't
They
want to
could-
see him.
They could
and-
also recast him
Yeah, that's true.
if it's. I don't know if it's the actor or the writing, but
Yeah, I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah, he's Yeah.
All right, well, I mean, the final thoughts on
I don't think so.
The Boys overall, season 5 overall, the ending overall.
No. I'm curious what people think of this, and also let us know if you've heard anything about besides
Actually,
Vault Rising.
They could do.
What else is new?
I know, like, I mean, they have the Gen V. They have those couple characters too, which are a little bit younger, so they could kind of
just bring them
into something and kind of.
But I don't know, what was the reason for canceling Gen V then?
I don't know.
Because like the kind of show you're talking about would be kind of similar to that. So like I don't know what
them
made
just not
them
in school anymore because it was focused on the school.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe they. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know the reason why they canceled it, but.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? Do you have any thoughts or ideas on future things in this world? And can make the spinoff The Girls instead of The Boys.
There you go.
I mean, I'd watch that, but
yeah.
Let us know. Send us an email, feedback@screentimepod.com, or leave a comment or DM. And obviously to be able to DM us, you got to follow and like and subscribe. So, please do that on all the platforms. Screen Time Pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you want to follow us individually on Instagram, I'm at J Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.